back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to show you guys how to create a nice smoky eye. So in this video, I only used a few different eyeshadows. I know, who am I? Only using a few eyeshadows. Normally I use like 6 or 7 for one eye look. No, but for real, today I only used a few different eyeshadows to achieve this beautiful smoky pink eye. I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. I also used new products today. Most of these products were from the drugstore that I used, and I was pleasantly surprised with how they went on. So if you guys want to see how I got this look right here, keep on watching. Okay, so I started to do this eye, and I did put a concealer on my eyelids just to prime, to give it like a nice even base, and then I set that with the Mercier Setting powder, and now I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill Original palette. This is one of my favorite palettes. I love all the shadows in here. I love how creamy and pigmented they are, and I love how easy they are to blend out. So this eye is what I started, so we're gonna go ahead and work on this eye. Okay, so the first color I'm going to go in with is called Silk Cream. This is just gonna give it a nice base, and I always tap off my brush just to get that extra powder off. Okay, and I just blend that up high. It's okay if if you go up here, because you can always clean that up afterwards. Okay, this is just gonna be a super easy smoky pink eye look with literally 3 colors, because you can achieve that with this palette. You can get a beautiful pink smoky eye with literally 3 colors. No effort at all. This is gonna be so easy. So on these days where your husband calls you and he's like, you have 5 minutes to get ready, you could be like, well, actually I'm gonna need 20, and then this is an eye look you can do, and it's not gonna take you any time at all. So I'm gonna take this smaller brush. This is a Sigma Blending E25, and I'm going to go in with the color Jax. I really hate how the names of the colors are on the back of the palette. It makes it so annoying sometimes when you're trying to see what the name is that you're using. So I want to stay really low with this color. I don't want to go too high, but I seriously love this color so much. So I just take my time with blending this out. I start off with a little bit of color and just add more, because I feel like it's easier to add more than it is to go back, because I've done eye looks before where I've had to go and take off all of my makeup and start all over again because I put too much of one shadow and I wasn't able to blend it out. So I'd rather start off with a little bit and add some more and build that up. And that's what I love about this palette. It is so buildable. Okay, and again, I love this Sigma brush because it's really good at keeping the color really low. You can leave it like this, or you can add a little bit more pigment. I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And when I add it on a little bit more, I'm just leaving it darker out here. I'm not gonna blend that over anymore. Okay, we're literally almost done with the eye look. We haven't even started the face yet. All right, so I went ahead and put my lashes and liner on. The lashes are from Chelsey Cosmetic. They are in the style Sonoma. I will put a link so you can get those if you want in the description box down below. So I'm gonna use this primer. This is like only my 3rd or 4th time using this. It's the No Pore Blem Primer from Touch in Soul. So I got this in my BoxyCharm actually. So I'm just like rubbing this in my hands like that, and then I'm just going to press it. It has a nice scent to it. It doesn't smell bad, but it does have a scent to it. So if you like stuff with no fragrances, you're not going to like this. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I'm actually going to mix 2 shades. I'm going to mix 125 and 222 together. So the only thing I don't like about this foundation is it doesn't have a pump. So I feel like it could get a little bit messy. So I just like pour it on the back of my hands. So I'm mixing these 2 shades together just to get my perfect combination. I'm like a mad scientist. They're almost similar, but one's just a little bit darker. All right, so I just mix this mess on the back of my hand. I'll show you guys. Let's see. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this and just wipe it on my face. See that? It is a perfect match now. All right, so I'm just using a damp beauty blender, and I am just blending this out. I really like this foundation. I was pleasantly surprised when I use this for the first time, because I have used foundations that cost me like $40 and up that were not able to look as good as this. So I was really surprised. This was also the #1 foundation that was recommended by you guys on Instagram. Okay, so I also picked up the Fit Me powder in the shade 222. So I'm going to use this to set my face, but I'm going to put my concealer on first and then I'll go back in with that. So I got the e.l.f. concealer 16-hour camo. So the one that I got is so light. It is Fair Warm. It was the last shade that they had, and I'm just like, whatever, we're doing it, we're doing it. What's the worst that could happen? I like how big and thick this wand is. I do really like that. So I do understand this is like so white on me, but I put this on the other day and I blended it out and it was like really nice. The one thing about this concealer is that it dries really fast. So you want to do one side at a time. I've learned the hard way with this concealer that if you put it on, if you do like both eyes, and then when you go to blend it out, by the time you get back to this eye, it's going to be so hard to blend because it's going to have already started to dry. And we don't want that. So I know this looks super light, but I feel like once I get everything else on, it's gonna really come together. And I actually like going back to this bright under eye look. I used to wear a bright under eye all the time. I would go like 5 or 6 shades down from my foundation color and use that as a highlight. And then I stopped. So now I'm like getting back into that and I really like how bright it is under my eye. Okay, so I just wanted the e.l.f. camo 16-hour wear underneath my eyes. Now I'm going to use Conceal and Define for the rest of my face. So this wand is really nice too. I like when you can get a wand that's not super thin, right? Because I feel like the super thin wands are so hard to get all the product on. So the reason why I'm using a different concealer for the center of my face is because that e.l.f. concealer is just way too bright for everywhere else. I just wanted the brightness for underneath my eyes, and both of these are drugstore. So now I'm going to set my under eyes and then I'm going to go in with the powder for the rest of my face. I am going to use a Laura Mercier setting powder today, and I'm going to be using my Jaclyn Hill JH07. I love my Too Faced Born This Way translucent setting powder, but I like to mix it up sometimes. So again, I just press this into my skin. I did buy a drugstore setting powder, but I bought the Air Spun, and I was reading the ingredient list and I'm just like not a fan of the ingredients. So I need to go find a different setting powder that you could get at the drugstore. So if you guys know of any, please comment them down below because I'm totally interested. I put a little bit of extra powder just kind of like to bake. I'll brush off the excess in a minute. So now I'm going to go in with the Fit Me powder. This is the matte poreless and it's normal to oily skin tone. All right, I'm just gonna use this brush for this powder. I'm not putting that powder where I put the setting powder because I feel like that's just powder on top of powder on top of powder. So I only used a little bit of that. So now I'm gonna go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. So I was actually really scared to try this because my first purchase from Physicians Formula was that liquid liner. And that liquid liner just sucked. But I really do like this bronzer. I've used this a few times now. It's just, this is nice and light, and you know what? It smells like the freaking beach, which I love because I miss the beach. Don't worry, we're gonna get that extra powder off of there. I know it looks like crazy light, like the differences with the light and dark, but don't worry, we're going to brush all the excess off of there. It's not gonna be crazy, I promise. And once we get the brows on, it's all going to come together. So now I'm gonna go in and brush all that extra off with the same brush. There's no powder left on there. And I'm just wiping off all the excess. Okay, so now I'm using that butter bronzer for the side of my nose contour. And make sure you bring it to your brows. Okay, and I just like to go right under my lip to give it that shadow. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is add some blush. So I picked up this Milani blush in the shade Romantic Rose. I really like Milani. I have their primer, which I love. It's my first time using this blush, so let's see if I like it. That is really pretty. I like to bring my blush on the apples of my cheeks and then bring it back. You don't have to bring it all the way over to the apples of your cheeks if you don't want to. I like my blush to really show, so that's why I put it on. If you don't like it like that, you don't have to do that. Okay, and if you just feel like it is too much, you could blend it out. I personally don't feel like it's too much, so. Okay, the next thing I'm gonna use, I was so shocked by this product. This is, I think it was $2.99, I'm not even kidding. It's from Wet n Wild. It's their Mega Glow Highlight Powder. This stuff is awesome. I forgot my highlighting brush upstairs, so I'm just gonna use my powder brush. It'll do the job. How gorgeous is this highlight, you guys? That is a $2.99 highlight. Like, I'm pretty sure it's $2.99. I'll double check everything and put it in the description bar. I'm loving this highlight, you guys. What do you think? It's gorgeous, right? I'm gonna go do my brows and I will be right back. Okay, so now we're going to blend out the bottom lash line. You guys know I love a good blended bottom lash line. I just love a pop of color. But hold on, we need a Coke break. Anybody else love McDonald's Coke? It is one of my favorite things on this planet, McDonald's Coke. And I actually looked into McDonald's Coke, and I'm not gonna go into full detail, but just Google why McDonald's Coke is better than all others. I'm a Googler. Okay, so I'm gonna take this color called Hunts, and I'm going to blend this out on my bottom lash line first. I did not use this color at all on my lid or in my crease, but I really like this color on the bottom lash line, so we're gonna use Hunts with the shade Jax on the bottom lash line and the color Beam for an inner corner highlight. Just want to like show you guys. I need to get like a mirror like right next to my camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just taking that out and blending it on that bottom lash line. I feel like this really makes my eye color pop. And then what I'm going to do is take the color Jax. This is that maroon color that we used in the crease. And I'm gonna blend that on top, but I'm only gonna go to where my pupil is. So not all the way over, just like halfway. Okay. And I do like to bring it out here to connect those. It's okay if you get it a little bit messy. We're gonna clean it up and I will show you how you can clean it up. So what I like to do is take this clean brush right here and I just go under and blend. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. I like my shadow to be messy on that outer corner. Sometimes I like it to be really sharp, but for this look, I like it to be messy. So then I'm gonna take that color Beam and I'm going to put that on my inner corner. You can spritz your brush first before you use this color to make it really pop, or you can just go in dry. I'm just going in dry and you can see how beautiful this color is and how pigmented it is. Now I'm gonna go back in with the same brush that I used to blend over here. I'm just gonna use to blend right here. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is add some white liner to my bottom lash line. Okay, so it just cleans up any of that color that may have gotten on there and just makes your eyes look brighter and more awake. So next thing I'm going to do is my lips. So I just got this actually, this MAC Creme Cup. It's a lipstick. It is so gorgeous. And then I have the NYX Butter Gloss that I'm gonna top on over it. So I am obsessed with this matte color. It is gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm gonna top this with the NYX Buttercream. Just love this combo so much. I think it's so pretty. And because my eyes are kind of dark, kind of like pow and smoky, I just wanted something nice and light on my lips. Okay, so the last step that we're gonna do is we're gonna spray the face with setting spray. So I just picked up this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Finish Setting Spray. I love a matte finish. And I love how Wet n Wild is cruelty free. They even have the little bunny on here, which I think is amazing because a lot of companies claim that they're cruelty free and they're not. And I love how a lot of these drugstore brands are becoming cruelty free. I think it's fabulous. I believe CoverGirl just announced that they are cruelty free now too, which is incredible. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and spray the face. I'm extra, so I like to spray extra. So anyways, it's gonna look wet. That's okay. Wow, do you guys see that liner? Ooh, baby. So this is the eye look. I absolutely love it. All right, so this is my finished look. This is a super easy pink smoky eye that you can achieve with 3 colors. On the bottom lash line, I did use an additional 2, so making that 5 colors total for this whole look, including your inner highlight pop color, but I think that's pretty incredible. So I love this eye look. I've worn it multiple times. I think it's so gorgeous and so easy to do, and I really wanted to just share it with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. If you did, leave a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell. If you ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I upload, and I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So stay tuned for the next video. Bye guys!